Welcome to the Ednet Cloud tutorial. In this video, I will walk you through all the steps necessary to use the Ednet Cloud using myfiles for file storage, access, and sharing. If you've ever lost files on a USB stick or left your stick at school on the weekend, this is the place to keep your files for easy and secure accessibility. I'm Shelley Tulloch, but I prefer to think of myself as Y2K teacher. In our profession, I know I can't work any harder, but I'm trying to learn how to work differently to maximize my efficiency and effectiveness in the classroom. For more information, you can follow me on Twitter at 6tulloch or visit my class website at www.tullocheclassroom.weebly.com. The first thing you're going to need to do is open your web browser, whichever web browser you prefer to use. In the address bar, type in http://myfiles, all one word, .ednet.ns.ca. Once you're on that page, you will see a login prompt. It does sometimes take a few minutes to load, so please be patient. You use your good old Ednet email address login and password. Remember, you're not going to use your new HRSB login. Once you are successfully logged into the Ednet Cloud, you will see a directory of files that you can access on the left-hand side of your screen. There are two types of files that you can access and create, public and private. Public files can be viewed by anyone and are best used for files like newsletters because there's no login prompt required to access them. Publicly accessible files should not contain any confidential information. Along the top toolbar, you will see a button titled Create New Directory. You're going to click on this button to create a root directory for your files. This will not only keep you better organized, but it will allow you to most efficiently find what you are looking for. When it comes time to share your files, it's best to share a whole folder rather than just single files. This is why it's really important to carefully consider how best to organize your files. You can always create duplicates of files within different folders if you don't want to share everything in a particular folder. Organization can be a real challenge. Personally, I like to start a new folder for each year, and then I create subdirectories within that folder by term, month, week, and then subject. You will have your own organization system, and I encourage you to do what works best for you. Once you have created your folders, you will see them listed from your root directory under Private. Remember that you may have to do some digging or look into the folders if you embed folders within folders. Once you've created a folder, you can then begin to upload your files. Remember, you can add new folders and new files at any point in the process. You can upload files from the shared drive, a USB stick, or directly from your computer's hard drive. The nice thing about the cloud is that you can access these files once they are uploaded to the cloud from wherever you are, whenever you want them. No stick required. Simply browse the computer until you find where your files are located. It's just like sending an email with an attachment. When you share your files, you have an option to share such that students can only read the files and not read and write them. This is a really important step to ensuring students do not make changes or overwrite your original files. You will be prompted with a message that lets you know your files were uploaded successfully. It's a little confusing because a successful upload shows a red X. This red X is actually a good sign. Your files will appear under the directory in which you have uploaded them. Once you have uploaded files to the cloud, you have the option to share them. This is not a requirement. Some files you will never share. In my practice, it's a lifeline to share files using the cloud with my grade level teaching partner. To share files, click on the Share button on the top toolbar of your screen. A menu box will appear asking you who you'd like to share your files with. For Ednet users, both staff and students, you can simply type in the username. In my example, my teaching partner's email is ckbonin@staff.ednet.ns.ca, but I only have to type ckbonin. It's important to remember that we're going to maintain using our Ednet usernames for this service. This is a place where you can limit access to your files and share them as read-only and read and write. This is where you can restrict your students' ability to overwrite your files by sharing them with your students as read-only. This is really important. I will show you how to share files with people who do not have an Ednet account in a subsequent tutorial, but at this point it's important to know that it can be done. There really aren't any limitations that I have uncovered within the cloud. I particularly find the cloud handy when I want to share files that are too big to be emailed. Finally, I click on the check mark to confirm that I would like to share the files. A green bar appears at the bottom of the screen to show that the files are a shared repository. In order to access files from the cloud, you must download them. The download button is located along your top toolbar. When it comes time to open files from the cloud, it's important to know that you cannot simply double-click on the file name from the overview screen to open the files. You must download the files. After clicking the download button, you will be prompted to save. I like to click on Save As so that I can direct where I want to save the files. I find it makes it easier to locate what I need easily. I like to save my files to the desktop to work on them. I find it makes it easier to upload it back to the cloud if I work from the desktop. Working on a school computer, however, it is important to remember that all files saved on the desktop are deleted by deep freeze when the computer shuts down at the end of the day. Once the file is downloaded, you can minimize your browser and go back and locate it from the desktop. The process simply repeats itself when you are ready to upload any changes you have made to the document back to the cloud. It's important to remember to do this so that you're not working from old files on the cloud. You can keep the file name the same and simply overwrite your last version and save the updated version to the cloud. Stay tuned for more tutorials in the STEM-NS series, such as sharing resources with non-Ednet users and accessing the cloud from your iPad or iPhone. This tutorial has been brought to you by the STEM-NS team in cooperation with the Democracy 250 Legacy Trust.